The prospects of being a husband and a father in the year of 2020 is much like those artists who are told they're going to be paid in exposure. In theory, it sounds nice, right? But in practice, no one looks at the little signature at the bottom of the painting. And so, thusly, the focus is on the design and the artist in this analogy, father slash husband gets ultimately nothing. And that's something that the yin to our masculine yang, the feminine, will not and cannot comprehend. This is Laura, right? Yeah, Laura Bates, and she's a writer for The Guardian. Just a couple red flags off top, that hair color situation and these eyes. Man, what do you think we're in for right now, huh? This is coming to us from The Guardian. Women. Men going their own way. The rise of a toxic male separatist movement. What? Okay. The men of the MGTOW movement aim to live their lives with no female contact. The idea began on the fringes of the internet. So how has it made it all the way to the White House? Okay, so first and foremost, this notion that the marriage was a screw job has been around far longer than the internet, because the family court systems and in laws have been geared towards the feminine for wait since like, let's say, like the 70s is when the turn really began, and here we are 40 years later. All right, Laura Bates, let's see what do you, because it's toxic, right? It's toxic male separatist movement. What are, that's the thing. There are levels to this, right? According to the other brothers in the Manosphere, you got the monks, you got the PUAs, there's so many different layers and decks to this, but ultimately, each man for himself, fellas. We know this. There has been an awakening, changing the world one man at a time. These are the dramatic words that appear when you visit MGTOW.com. I've literally never been there, but sounds pretty awesome. And a video that looks a lot like an action movie trailer. Once again, awesome. The words are soon followed by 5 more that appear to smash through the screen. Smoldering, fiery red, men going their own way. You forgot the 3 dots after the own. If you stumbled across the website and had never heard of men going their own way, MGTOW, before, you would probably assume that this was a tiny extreme movement, but you would only be half right. Golly, you can just read. It jumps off the page as you read the sarcasm and the disdain that this woman has for has for this ideology. The views of MGTOW are indeed unorthodox, even within the sprawling web of groups, lifestyles, and cults known as the Manosphere, where women haters mobilize against a supposed gynocratic conspiracy. While incels plot violent revenge on women, and pickup artists deploy predatory tactics to game women into having sex with them. It's biology, sweetie. The men of the MGTOW attempt to eschew relationships with women altogether. They are literally going their own way, far, far away from any women at all. But you just said right there that it, like, when it comes to this, when it comes to, I guess, to red pill or accountability theory, that's what we should probably be calling it, more than anything. Like, accountability theory, great. That's my wrap up of the whole MGTOW red pill. Just, hey, for the most part, a little bit of accountability. You just said that that it's so vast, and it varies from it's clearly not simply just eschewing and throwing away women. Although some MGTOW maintain platonic relationships with women, and others have one-night stands or visit sex workers. So yeah, see, once again, this is not a separatist thing. You say it yourself. Many prefer to abstain from sex, a process referred to as going monk. This is too much for some members of the wider manosphere. The blogger Matt Forney, notorious for posts such as "Why Fat Girls Don't Deserve to Be Loved" and the necessity of the and the necessity of domestic violence, wrote that men going their own way is no way for men to go, and mocked MGTOW as a cult of lonely virgins. Once again, there is no even within ideologies, right? Within cultures, none of them are monolithic. So she found someone who just wants to be insulting, and guess what? There's a market there. I mean, most of this is about commerce, guys, whether you realize it or not. Most of this is about commerce, and many individuals just take a contrary, I think of someone like that dude Vosh, who take just contrarian positions because, hey, why not go against the grain? And hey, by all means, have at it, guys. We're cool. It really doesn't affect anything as far as I'm concerned. But this isn't an obscure internet dig. Cashapp, MGTOW.com alone has almost 33,000 members. Its forums for men only, 33,000 in a country of 350 million people in general. I mean, come on. Its forums for men only contain conversations on more than 50,000 topics with more than 790,000 replies, which range from advice on divorcing as cheaply as possible to lurid stories about women who have found particularly inventive ways to murder their husbands. The site, it's a vast array of stuff for people to read. Cool. What's the problem? The site also lists 25 video channels. Between them, these have more than 730,000 followers, and their videos have been viewed a total 130 million times. Oh my goodness. Oh! Over on YouTube, one of the best known MGTOW vloggers, who goes by the name Sandman, hey guy, I know that guy, has racked up, I don't know him, I am familiar with his content, has racked up more than 90 million views for videos with titles ranging from Smart Men Don't Get Married to Criticize Her and She Will Destroy Your Career. Hashtag me too, right? I mean, is that false? See, that's one of the reasons I wanted to focus in on this article that's written by the feminine in a response to something that the masculine does, which by its nature is something she can't be a part of, and is butthurt. We're reading butthurt. The MGTOW philosophy is elaboratively laid out on the MGTOW.com website, which summarizes it as a statement of self-ownership, accountability, where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. Accountability. Drawing on snippets of quotes and newspaper clippings, the site claims that MGTOW dates back to great men, including Beethoven, Galileo, and even Jesus Christ. I'd be willing to have that debate. I'd be willing to have that debate. Women are essentially portrayed as parasites, riding on the coattails of men, who have throughout history been responsible for far greater miracles of science, discovery, and human endeavor. By shaking women off, it is explained men will be free to pursue even ever higher achievements. And this is why Mike Mulberry got in trouble, because it's a truth. It's a truth. That's why she's pissed off, because it's a truth. You are distractions. There's this story of a young man who ended up suing his ex-girlfriend because she screwed him out of a very lucrative and career fulfilling opportunity at a school. Like, ladies, yeah, you tend to like attention a lot. I love this. I feel like I found the secret to the universe. A user comments in the MGTOW.com testimonial section. Another writes that his city has become so ultra feminized that things are mind-blowingly bad for men here, especially straight white men. My Caucasian brothers, I will 100% agree with you. Like, they've been kicking y'all back in, bro. Elsewhere, philosophy and opinion are mixed with a heavy dose of often deeply misogynistic, and they always call it misogynistic, advice, such as this from the facts section of a different MGTOW website. My girlfriend is pregnant. What do I do? Whatever you do, do not invite her to the hot tub with champagne to celebrate. This can cause a miscarriage, and she could lose the baby. Repeat, you should not under any circumstances as quickly as possible. Yeah. bad. Like it's awful, but it's kind of funny. Get out of my face. It is impossible to know how seriously a comment like this is meant, but whether the original writer intended simply to shock or entertain, it is also impossible to know how it might be interpreted. Oh yes, oh my goodness, because the way I'm interpreting it is that he just basically told him how to kill himself, to how to kill his child. Oh, a free way. My goodness. Like, yo, and you know what? Yeah, she's probably right. People are terrible. People will take that and be like, oh, okay, bet. And I'm gonna lock that one away. But that's the thing. If men are going their own way, if more men go their own way, isn't that good for the women, right? I mean, there's so many of you who've been sitting there screaming, oh no, please don't, me too. It was harassment. And now it's like, oh, so now that men go, away from women, you're like, oh, no, please come back. Please come back. It's the circular logic, guys. It really is that circular logic point that I go into in a lot of these videos. MGTOW, pronounced MGTOW, are unlikely to meet in person, instead sharing their techniques, successes, and failures online throughout the manosphere. It is common to see members expressing paranoia about normies who could be out to expose them, often leading to forum users accusing each other of being moles or spies. Here's the thing. Most of the guys that I've watched want the word to be out about, want less normies. So the only way to make less normies is to have the ideology spread. So yeah, it's not like that, like amongst I guess the people who I would take more seriously within the manosphere. I don't see that. I don't see that a lot at all. I haven't seen that at all. Like, oh no, we won't be exposed. No, they're like, hell yeah, more exposure. By all means, come get this truth. Nowhere is this fear more prevalent than amongst MGTOW, with any suggestion of meeting in real life usually receiving a swift and scornful rebuttal. I'm not familiar with that. I've seen tons of the guys link up. Deal is that, just she's going in on the entire movement, and it's another hit piece, guys. America's at its crossroads. Oh, no, that's the end of the article. So, celebrations of the event, gloating, Reddit threads, why feminists fear the Mike Pence rule, and YouTube. Okay, oh yeah, so she's like, it's all stuff that we've gone over on this channel before. It's fresh, it's new, and it's another attempt by this crazy cat lady-eyed woman to really just, it's a hit piece. Amazing, right? But you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's that Streisand effect that they don't particularly realize. Like Mal Lewinsky with the QAnon stuff. Like, you create a Streisand effect and make us talk about it, which, once again makes it reverberate all throughout the land. So, it's a little counterproductive. But once again, I mean, isn't that the feminine? Isn't that a part of their balance, the chaos? Yeah, where the masculine is the order, the feminine is the chaos, and oh, nutty eyes right here is definitely like is definitely amongst it. So guys, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like this, also like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of your sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Go so get something from the Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, Laura Bates doesn't know what she's talking about for the most part. She can't get it. Like, that's the thing. What ultimately, it is the recognition of female nature more than anything else. It's the recognition that her stomach is bigger than her eyes, and her eyes are gigantic, right? There'll never be there. Like, when it comes to the feminine, there's no such thing as too much. More, and more. That's like really where they come from. And as far as media is concerned, and culturally, we've maxed out in a lot of ways. We've maxed out. And so we'll see how all of it plays out. But you may feel differently. You may be like, hey Jay, you are such a sexist and misogynist, man. And if you do, by all means, that's what my comment section's for. All right, until the next one.